Hey everybody, I'm back. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, we're back. How weird. Please tell me if you can hear me. I am. Hey, Deborah. Okay, can people hear me now? Can you hear me? Please let me know. It's good now? Thank you. I think what happened was there was an update to my computer, which made me have a lesson. And that is that the computer needed to update. So thank you so much. I was like, what the hell? Because everything was showing it was fine here for me. And then but with you guys out there, I thought it might have been something. Because look at this. I even tested. I want you to show. I was like, I know my sound is, I know my camera's good. And I mean, because that's my upload. I have a 823, 843. That's almost a 1 gig upload and download for my computer. So anyway, here we go. One more time. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I mean, I wasn't going to do a show anyway, but I think for now, you all taught me a lesson. And that is I must restart my computer before every show at some part during the day, because I realized I hadn't restarted my computer in like a couple of days. So sometimes you need to fix those things. So anyway, here I am. Let's see. Everybody's back. Angela's back from New Zealand. Hey, Angela. Deborah's back. She's there. The mysterious Facebook user who comes every week is back. Richard, you're back. Karen F is back. Carol Winter. Yes, now I know. Alan Shore says, sounds great. Oh, Shysta. I just realized I'm going to put this up. Hold on. I'm going to invite. What I had done was something I've never done before. And hold on, here we go. Okay, so hey, Irina. So this right here is if you want to come on with me live, that's the link. If you've got a good camera and a good sound, I'll bring you on and we can shoot the hoo-ha while I'm here. Hold on. And if y'all remember, I'm watching, but I have really bad Wi-Fi. It keeps so Lewis goes, I have really bad Wi-Fi. I had to restart, Lewis. Anyway, so thank you guys. So Lewis is back. So if you want to come on the show, I just put a link up there, and you can. And there's Lewis. Hey, Lewis, all the way from the UK. There you go. And if you see that on YouTube, you can just click on that link, and you'll pop up in my thing here. So Lewis, are you in York? I know you're overseas. You're in the UK. Let me turn this sound off. So yeah, everybody says hi to you, Lewis. They miss you. I actually showed them your message, Lewis. I said, Lewis calls me as I was on the way somewhere, and I said, look what Lewis wrote. I knew it was him when he goes, what's going on, whore? I got a story to tell you. Oh, gosh. Canada has had major internet outages. Oh, look, Lewis is popping in. I don't see him. Hold on. Hey!
No, I am.
I hear you.
Okay,
I hear
good.
you. You look really young. You look really young because it's so foggy.
I know.
No, you sound good. Hold on, let me bring this up. Okay, hold on. Keep talking.
All right.
Yeah.
So
okay. You're coming through perfect.
Oh, good, because the Wi-Fi here sucks. So if I freeze, it's the Wi-Fi.
Right. No, no,
But
no.
yeah,
Your sound is coming through. Everybody can hear Lewis. Did you see everybody waving hi?
I can see Karen and Richard and Carol
Right. And
and
Barbara and
Irina.
Janet were on a few minutes ago. Carol
Oh,
says,
cool.
Lewis, glad you're here.
Yay.
But
Thank you.
so,
Hello,
wow.
Angela.
No, I.
So yeah, it's 10:22 p.m. In London, merry old London.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's hot. It's gonna be hot this week. Holy moly.
Oh, no, nothing. It's
It's gonna be
110 here. It's 110
it's
here.
gonna be yeah, well, it's not gonna be that hot, but hi Ellen, hey Carol. But it's gonna be 31 Celsius, which is what 90-ish Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Is there humidity?
So, no, thank God.
Okay. Well,
So
here it's going to be 110.
but it's not a dry heat either, though. Oh wow,
Okay.
yeah. Welcome to July.
Right.
So
So,
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A lot has happened since you flew across the pond. But I was all anxious because you were texting me as I was on my way into Costco. But I just showed it to I showed everybody the message and they were laughing, you know.
I saw that. I saw your first replay. And just to clarify, that's how he and I talk all the time. We don't go out saying those words in public. So
Well, if we're
as he
drinking,
takes
we
a sip of
do.
his drink. Yeah, right.
No, right. It wouldn't be the first time. No.
No,
So
not
anyway,
at
so
all.
I figured then I texted you, so I figured you must have been out eating when I texted you back.
I
That was it.
was I didn't see that I didn't get the notification, and I was walking on South Bank when at the
Working
time
or
that you would
walking?
have text back. So walking.
Okay, there. It's 100
Walking.
fucking degrees in
Yeah.
Delaware today, and Barbara says, "Hi,
Hey
Lewis."
Barbara. How are you,
I had no
Barbara?
idea you were going to come on the show.
Well, I had a mental note about 10 p.m. My time would be the time that you would normally start in Vegas on
Right.
Pacific time. So I try to get in there and do something. And I wasn't sure again like how everything was going to work out because the Wi-Fi here. I think the whole neighborhood is pulling from the Wi-Fi. So
Right. Well, usually hotels have crap Wi-Fi. Janet says hi too.
wait. Hi, Janet. No, I'm staying at an Airbnb.
Okay.
So yeah, so
But
it's all good. It's all good.
no, it's all good here. You know, since I saw you last. Let's say, hold on, let me sec. Hold on. Hi, gentlemen. Lewis, may I ask you a question? Marianne, I don't know. You can ask the question down. Do you know Marianne Spellman?
No.
Okay. Go ahead, Marianne. I wasn't planning on having Lewis, and he's on vacation, so he may not be totally turned on unless he's watching porn. But he may not be totally turned on. But you can ask a question. We'll see what happened. I really wasn't. Usually, when Lewis comes on, we usually are taught we were going to do this, and we're prepared. But obviously, Michael, can you tell us more about your big project yet? No, I can't. But
No.
but I mean, it's I know there's going to be a leak about it in the next week or so. I do know there's going to be a leak about the project
from where it's going to be aired.
No, just a little bit about the project. It's people are
okay.
We don't know. It's now a possible different streaming service. So it's either going to be Paramount Plus or HBO. Or Netflix.
Right.
People want it.
Right.
And
yes.
A Paramount Plus I didn't realize how big they've gotten. They're huge.
They kind of like did a Disney, didn't they?
Yeah, they're aggressive.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is, like HBO is connected to Time Warner, whereas Paramount is connected to Paramount Studios, CBS, Viacom, VH1.
Studios.
It's huge. Yeah. So, so it's sort of like a bidding war. I can tell you this, Richard. Yeah. Esther is the comedic thread through a big explosive documentary that's coming out. That's what I can say. This documentary is very big. It's about Las Vegas. And right now, what I can say, honestly, is people are going, when's it coming out? You shot it in October. Well, what they have to do is when you have a documentary like this, which is very controversial, it has to go through what's called legal. And there's this thing when you do TV shows and movies called errors and omissions, which is an insurance you have. So if you get sued, the insurance company takes care of it because everybody always wants to sue everybody in Hollywood. And so they have spent the last week or two in what's called legal. So the lawyers have been going, 3 sets of lawyers have been going through the documentary, making sure everything is accurate and backed up. So they had to make a couple of changes. And as the director said, nothing to Esther. Esther's fine. Right. They just have somebody had said something about somebody in the documentary, and you have to be careful for libel and defamation. Yeah. So it's just crazy. And then, so that's what's happening, Richard. It's could be very big for me, but,
no, it's not. It could, no.
It's going to be very big for me.
It's going to be big for you. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Janet, September. Yay. Oh, and Janet and Barbara, I am going to see Sunny this week. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Have you met Sunny? I don't think you met Sunny. Did you, Michael?
Who's Sunny?
Sunny is a friend of the girls. He is also a John Lloyd fan. And we met when he was staying with the girls when I was down there at the same time. So, and he lives in the middle of England. So I'm going to go see him.
How cool. You're going to go see him. Hey, Julia Booth from Richmond, California. And there was somebody else. Where the hell is that? There was somebody else I didn't get to say hi to, but they were, if I didn't say hi to you, it's because it scrolled by so fast. Hi, Barbara Rue again. And Janet says, that's great. He will love seeing you. Dawn says, hi, Lewis. And Barbara says, send him our love. The other thing.
Oh, Mary Ann, who you are.
Oh, Marianne. Yep. Hey, Lewis, you did a video reading for me hold on, let me put this up here. There we go. Lewis, you did a video reading for me about 2 weeks ago. I'm the person doing hospice volunteering. Anyway, as asked about selling my house, you told me February, March 2023 for approximately $900,000. Does that seem appropriate? Thanks.
It will wiggle a little bit, but you're hitting it, like, but it's not going to be exactly 9. It might have an 8 in front of it, but it'd be a high 8. So it's going to stabilize. It's the market for your area, Marianne, will stabilize, even though it's not stabilized. But for your interest, for the interest in it, that's why they're going after it. And that's why they will be able to pay you. So.
Pretty cool. That's nice. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Carol says, Lewis, what have you seen so far in England?
So England to me is kind of.
Let me say something real quickly. Let me say something real quickly. So Carol and everybody on here, follow Lewis on Instagram because he's been doing live broadcasts on his Instagram. Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So I just
and posting.
That.
Yeah,
and posting.
It's Lewis Mabee, my name. England is my second European home. LA with my sisters from another mister is my North American second home. And so Carol, I've been here so often that this trip is basically get up and do whatever I want to do. But I will tell you, I went to Bath, England. And that's where the Romans put up this beautiful outdoor bath, like the Roman baths. And then I also went to York City, and that was also steeped with history about the Romans. And York used to be the capital of England at one time, and all that sort of thing. So, and then around London, my front window I can see the London Eye. It's all lit up, very pretty and pink.
Get a hold of Diego.
Oh, is he here or is he in
He's in London, I
Greece?
think. No, he didn't. He hasn't left. He's got a job or something there doing something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe I'll reach out to him. So, Carol, j- so this is a very different kind of trip because because this is the first kind of time where people were able to travel freely after COVID, and London hasn't really got its sparkle back.
Mm.
They're doing they're in the same crisis as we are. Inflation, lack of employment. There's too much. There's too many jobs
Oh,
available.
excuse.
That's Michael on his cell phone.
Sorry. No, I didn't realize that the sound was still on. So sorry. Hold on.
No, it's
There
good.
we go. Sorry.
And so I would wait a year so that they can get into the routine that I'm used to when it comes to traveling to London and the UK. So the outskirts of London, they have that little bit of hospitality and all that sort of thing, but his OCD's coming out.
No, what happened was I'm sorry. My phone was connected to the Bluetooth on my soundboard and I
To
was trying to
Bluetooth,
disconnect
yeah,
it. So it's
yeah.
done now. It's not going to happen anymore.
Karen, I might be going back to Portugal. I haven't decided if I'm going to fly into Portugal in March, but I'm going to Spain in March next year. But I'm not going to Spain mainland. I'm going to the Canary Islands. So I'm going to have to pick my destination of where I'm going to go fly into
Wow.
first before I go to Canary. So, and that Portugal is on that list.
But you loved Portugal before.
I did, yeah. I really enjoyed Portugal. It was
It
really
says I want
nice.
to be your bag
Unfortunately,
handler next time you come
I know.
back.
um,
That's so
yeah, Portugal. The only issue I had with Portugal was that it rained all the time and it was cooler than normal, but that's okay. There's always the next time where it'll be nice weather. So yeah,
cool.
but yeah,
Um, yeah. So I signed with Bohemia
I
since
did
you were
see
here
that.
last time.
I would
Bohemia
love to,
manager.
Angela.
What is it? Angela said, "Come to New
Sorry.
Zealand." Oh no, that's where I want to go.
My favorite wine, my favorite white wine. Well, actually, my favorite red and whites come from New Zealand. I love the New Zealand wines. I prefer them over almost anything else in the world. Oyster Bay, one of my favorite whites. So, um, and so yeah, because Richard, Portugal is extremely affordable. Still, it's affordable, and the infrastructure is very sound, and for the most part, and the people are nice, and yeah, it's cheap to live there. So
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be moving to Portugal. We were talking about that the other day. We were talking about that with Corby last Sunday, and about the
mhm.
expats leaving here because it's so much cheaper to live there,
Yeah.
and people are going there, and so it's kind of cool.
So
I
you
want to go to New
signed,
Zealand.
yeah. New Zealand
Huh?
is like everything that I've seen about New Zealand is beautiful.
I want to go to
Um,
Australia. I want to do all of that. There's so much I want to
Australia.
do.
Hmm.
I'm also
Well,
going to have to try that.
you'll be able to start doing that since you have a new management team on your side now.
Well, they are now, they are in Australia. They're in Sydney, I believe, Berlin, New York,
In London.
LA, and London.
Yeah.
They got their start. They got a lot of their stuff with Broadway people. So I have a big meeting on this coming Friday, a Zoom meeting with everybody, and I'm meeting with the head of the management company, Susan Ferris, as well as Justin Ross. And Justin is getting ready to head to East Africa to Mauritius. It's this resort off the
Mauritius,
east
yeah.
coast of Africa, and they're shooting a film there for 4 weeks.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, so I mean, I'm just that, and then this other thing happened. It was pretty cool. But Corby introduced me, Lewis. You must meet her and
Mhm,
befriend her. Her name is Pat Dumas.
mhm.
She puts the A in astrologer.
Right.
I have never had anybody that is that exact with astrology.
Wow.
She says, "I'm not a psychic. I do astrology. I deal with this," and she'll pull a couple of tarot cards, but she and I haven't. She's going to come on September the 11th is when she's
Oh,
going to be able to do the show. Um,
9/11.
I know, but she said, "Good, she goes, I'm gonna do the chart on America that day." And
Ooh.
yeah, we didn't realize it until after she said she'd do it. But I get goosebumps talking about it. But she pinpointed the dates in my life compared to how everything has fallen into place. And
Mhm.
she the most interesting thing was she goes, "What happened in 95, 96, like 94, 95, 96?" I said, "Well, that's when I kind of got sobered up and I was in Nashville and I got on the morning show, and that's where
Yeah.
Esther was created." And she said, "Go back 14 years. What happened? What was significant?" I go, 1981, 82. I
That
go, Esther was discovered as a woman named Esther Goldstein working at the Bullocks Wilshire department store in the Lancome counter. And that's how she was created, because she talked like this woman named Esther Goldstein. At the same time, she goes,
yeah.
81, 82. I was living with Nell Carter.
Yep.
My life was crazy. But she even went on to Paul Lynde, everything, bing, 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 bing. But she came up with this thing called Moon Squared Pluto as a male. She goes, "Whew, that is intense." She goes,
Mhm.
and she explained how it all worked. It's like the loss of parents, being insecure, growing up a very, very tumultuous childhood. A lot of people who have moon squared Pluto go through that. And of course,
Yeah.
being born out of wedlock, you know,
Yep.
I was, I told her about, how you did this thing with the father I never knew, who popped up in a reading when you and I were sitting here. And, but she said, I had a black doctor delivered a white woman's baby in 1957, and they burnt a cross in the front yard of our house the next day. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just the craziness, the whole thing with my grandmother, that I thought loved me, but realized I was abused for most of my childhood, being beaten and whipped and stuff over stupid stuff. And it was just, she pinpointed these dates and she said,
Yeah.
wait till 2025. You are going to be at the zenith of everything you have ever worked for.
Which makes
2025.
sense.
She goes, mark my words. Not that, the great things are going to happen between now and then. She goes, but you wait.
Oh yeah, you know, you're yeah, yeah.
She goes, but what's
Your
going to happen?
flowers finally blessed me.
But I'm going to show you. So I haven't showed anybody this yet, Lewis. So, and I was going to show you later when you got here. So back in 1989, I worked for this company called Saban Entertainment. Okay, Saban, they had the Family Channel, they Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I was a part of all of that way back when. And they had hired me, even though I was doing comedy and performing. They hired me to produce some movies. One of these movies I produced was for this woman. Her name is Deborah Shelton. She was Miss USA back then. She was Mandy Winger. If you ever watched Dallas, she was JR's mistress on Dallas, Mandy Winger. And hey, Bruce Hare. And she was he in the other room.
He's in the other room.
I know. But
Bruce and I are
so
traveling together.
I know, that was so funny. So what happened was, I had written a story idea for a script, and the name of the script was called A Breach of Hearts, and
Mhm.
it was about this character I created named Richard, who's an ad executive at a big high-powered advertising agency in New York. And the whole story is how he has no family except for his brother. His brother's married to this woman. They have 3 kids, and Richard's entire world is centered around his nephews and nieces, Neil, Lori, and Angie. They're 5, 7, and 12, going on 13. And the brother and the sister and his sister-in-law are killed in a head-on collision. And
Mhm.
at the time, I thought I was at the right age to play this, because I was like in my 30s. I was 30 something. No, I realized that this script is for something that's going to happen now. I had to be in my 50s.
Right.
The character had to be in that age range to play the part. And
Yeah.
so wait a minute. So um, it hit me during this thing with Pat Dumas the other day. I went, oh my
Mhm.
God, my goal is to win an Academy Award or get nominated for one. And I said, I'm going to
Right.
do it. I'm going to do it. It happens. It happens to people all the time. And I
Yep.
realized that I had to take this script and rewrite it again. Well, back in 1989, Deborah Shelton and I connected yesterday. We
What?
connected yesterday. We connected yesterday. She was up in Canada. What happened was the movie I produced for them at Saban was called Blind Vision. And the star of the movie was this young actor named Lenny Von Dolen, who was also in Twin Peaks. He played the agoraphobic guy in Twin Peaks that never left his house. Anyway,
Right.
Lenny, 63, died in his sleep the other night.
Oh.
And I was like, what? So I went to my phone. I said, oh my God. So I texted Deborah Shelton, who I hadn't texted in a few years, didn't even know if the phone was going to work. And she's in Canada at her boyfriend's by the mountain somewhere. And we just reconnected. And I said, Deborah, you remember what happened was when I came up with the story, she said back in 89, Michael, this script is going to be incredible. And you know what she did for Christmas in 1989?
No.
She had this made in leather.
Oh, she binded it.
She goes, this is when the script is completed, you're going to put it in here.
You're going to put it in there. Gotcha.
And it's a script case, leather script case. All of a sudden, Lewis, I got goosebumps on Goosebumps. And I realized with this management company, the thing that has kept me from writing the script and the story is I can't write the legalese because a lot of it takes place in the courtroom. Because what happens in this story is the brother and sister are killed. The 3 kids, he's going to raise them because that's his family. But the brother's wife has a born-again right-wing Christian grandmother who wants to battle Richard for the custody of the kids. And it becomes a custody battle between the 2 of them. And the way I wrote it is there's a compromise that happens. It has a happy ending, but not before you go through a lot of tears. You know what I mean? And so anyway, it's so crazy. So with this new management company, they handle other writers. So I'm thinking, even though I've written the story and the concept, I need somebody who can write the script.
You need text
that deals with lawyers. Anyway, so that I haven't shared that with anybody. But the fact that was 1989, back during that period, back now and 2025, it could actually be written and happened.
It's like wide leg pants. They're coming back.
Right. So I don't know. It was so funny. I was talking to John Hall. John Hall last night said Jean Smart or Judith Light should play the grandmother.
Oh, you can't go wrong with either one of them.
I know, right?
Anyway, and they're both having a resurgence right now. So,
well, Jean Smart, please, hello. But Judith Light is just incredible. So anyway, that's going on. And then my house, I didn't tell you about here. We're having a conversation. The whole world is finding out. Everybody knows that I've been flipping out over where I'm going to live because they're raising the rents so much in Las Vegas. So my landlady finally said, I'm only raising your rent $150. That's unbelievable. So my rent is way below the rent average. Well, this unit goes for $3,500 to $4,500 a month. I'm not paying anywhere near that. And she says, I'll give you 1 year to put the down. She goes, I'll give you a year to put the down payment and together. And she said, and you can start making all of the changes you want. You can paint, you can do whatever you want.
Perfect.
So you were right on that. You told me not to worry. Are you there? Hold on.
I'm here.
Okay. You faded out for a second. So anyway, that happened. So I guess you'll tell me when we get off the air what it is that you have to tell me. I was like, I want to know what it is. That's 3 gallons of hair dye. What the hell? I'm 5 days away from retirement. Does Lewis have any feels about my future? Just letting everybody know that I was not planning on Lewis doing readings today. So let's take a look here. I'll say Julia Booth. I have a question about Paul Lynde. I read he was so insecure about himself. Is that true? It is very true, Julia. He was very insecure, as many people are in this business.
Many actors are,
except for me. I'm kidding. I was waiting for Lewis to go, shut the frick up. No,
Oh
of
my
course,
God.
Barbara says, of course, Lewis was right. um, but anyway, so that's kind of cool what's been happening. So, I feel much more secure about my home.
Yeah.
You know, getting everything together, and we're still working on getting this, getting the Indiegogo going. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
we're not going to make the amount that I would like to make, but I think a lot of it has to do with the economy and stuff like that. So,
Right.
we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. I still got another week. Yay!
Yay.
Let's see, what is it? I'm 5 days away. Barbara says I'm 5 days. Barbara Rue.
Yeah.
You've seen her. Her
Barbara,
cousin is Steven Tyler
make
from Aerosmith.
make sure that you retire. Like, don't cut the ties.
What are you doing?
And like, enjoy waking up. Oh, I hear champers.
I know he just came
And enjoy decompressing everything that you had to endure over the last couple of years, especially the last couple of years. And but yeah, retirement looks good. Just make sure you get a hobby. So
a hobby.
hi, Marie. Yeah.
Hey, Marie Rudolph, one of my dear DC friends of many, many years. I've known Marie since like 1999, 2000.
Wow.
Thank you, Carol. Anyway, so what? So it's what, 10, 11 o'clock there now?
Almost
11:48,
11.
almost 11.
Yeah. Almost 11.
Okay. Yeah. So what time do you go to bed? Are you in for the night? Are you going to go out dancing or what?
No. I'm in for the night. No.
So what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm trying. We don't have any plans tomorrow. We're gonna wing it as the day unfolds. We were gonna go to Bruce. What was the green thing that we were gonna go to today? In the over or the it's part of the above ground is closed. Greenwich. We're gonna go to Greenwich.
Greenwich? Like Greenwich or Greenwich?
Yeah, Greenwich. The Greenwich timeline.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go that, but we couldn't get there today, so we might try tomorrow. But yeah, no, this is just a chill trip. It's not Nothing has really been planned. We're just going with the flow, and yeah, and lots of booze,
When do you
and
head back?
I have another week a bit here, so I'll be back. I think my first day back to work is the 20th. So I'm back the 19th. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So yeah, July.
Carol says, what
So
did Carol just say here? I don't have a hobby. If you don't have a hobby, get one. I was amazed when Lewis said, make sure you have a hobby. I think she meant
Carol,
hobby, not
or
hobby.
no,
Carol.
right to Barbara Rue. Yeah.
Right. Wow. So one more week. What's the time difference between Canada and there? It's about at least 5 hours or something.
From
You have
Toronto is 5 hours and 8 hours to Vegas and Los Angeles.
So it's
So
not too
we're
bad
ahead.
of a. It's not too much of a jet lag, is it? Or do you get it?
I get really bad jet lag coming back. It's not so bad, but I get jet lag coming back. Because I typically don't sleep on planes, and so
Uh-huh.
by the time that the plane is done and I get into my taxi to head downtown, it's been a day.
Wow.
So yeah.
So it basically, there's been no work. So the first psychic crap you've done is just here on my show, where people are asking what's going on, right? Since you've been there,
Yeah.
you just kind of turned
Yeah.
it off. I'm so sad you didn't get to see Chrissy Darling.
Yeah, well, she's in Dubai. I think she's
Is
in
he
Dubai.
back in Dubai, or he was in Bora Bora, or no?
Or maybe that's what it was. It was Bora Bora.
Yeah.
One or the other. Yeah.
I
So
don't know. He might
I
be
wasn't
back.
able
I
to
don't know.
connect with you. I can't.
And
I don't know.
Diego just never checks his. I don't know if you have him on WhatsApp. He just never checks. I have to go through his brother Bosco. You go, would you call your brother?
Yep.
Because he is totally disconnected. And Angela says they're going to Queenstown and South Island for 10
Good
days.
for
Looking forward
you,
to having a
Angela.
holiday. And then Lori says Terminal 1 is still a shit show.
That's Toronto. That's Pearson. Thank God I don't have check bags. I just brought carry-on. I have,
Oh,
that's the
really?
reason why I'm in an Airbnb, because I have laundry here, so I just do my laundry. I just brought enough for like 5 days, and then if I buy anything, I'm just gonna ship it home. It'll be
My
cheaper.
friend Ron Pasalagua just did a Rontourage tour. He was in Amsterdam, and he said it was almost a nightmare, but at the terminal. But then all of a sudden, at the last minute, they called his name, and he was like, "What? Oh no!"
Yep.
And they bumped him up to business class from
Oh,
Amsterdam,
good.
from London to U.S. He was pretty happy about that.
Oh, that's a good flight to get bumped up on.
I think it was business class from London to Los Angeles. Imagine that.
Wow. Because
I
that's
know, because he was freaking out going, "Oh no," because I mean, there were thousands of flights canceled in the past
yeah.
week, and especially last weekend, which was 4th of July weekend here in the States. It was crazy, crazy,
Mhm.
crazy.
Did
But yeah.
were you Lori? Were you affected by the Rogers outage? Or anyone else in Canada affected by the Rogers outage? I don't have Rogers because I think they're the
Somebody said there
Antichrist.
was major outages in Canada.
Yeah, the Rogers went down after an update. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it affected businesses because they couldn't process their terminals. They couldn't process debit cards, credit cards. The banks couldn't verify transactions.
Oh
Like
my
it affected
gosh.
everyone's life. And Interact wasn't working either, so people couldn't withdraw their money.
Hmm.
So and then they come up with this lame excuse that they're gonna give everyone affected a day credit. and,
That's
and
a day
so
credit. What is that? 20
a
cents?
day credit, basically. But you know, the economy probably lost millions of dollars because of this outage.
Oh.
And the
Wow.
chairman goes, "Oh, oops, I'm sorry."
Yeah, Lori
I
says it
wasn't
was all
affected,
over
obviously.
Canada.
Yeah,
Lucky
it's
you.
crazy.
Have you heard from
Yeah.
have you been in communication with your friend?
Oh, that's more of the story.
Oh, really?
That's
All right, we're
yeah.
ending the show now so I can find out all this gossip. No, I was already on for a few minutes, but for
Yeah.
some reason I guess I had to restart my computer because now it's fine.
Yeah.
But I realized I
Yeah.
hadn't started the computer and there were some updates that happens, so,
Yeah.
leave it to
Yeah.
Windows.
Yeah. You always.
And,
Exactly.
but yeah. So, yeah. Um, I haven't been asking people to
Everyone's
ask
quiet
questions
today.
well,
Go
because
ahead.
the reason why, Lewis, is because usually if you're promoted, they know you're gonna be on, and nobody knew you were gonna be on. So if you've got a
Right.
couple of
Right.
questions, Lewis is in the mood. If you, have some, general questions about your life, your career, should you move? Should you have gas? Whatever. Lewis will look at it right here, right now. But yeah, if I'd have known you were going to come, I would have, done the
Yeah.
splash when
I wasn't sure if
1,000
I was going
people
to be
show
able to
up.
get on. Right. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was
Right?
going to get on just because of the wonky internet. So, because
It's
they don't,
hold on,
they don't have a. Uh,
Lewis.
uh,
Will I be able to walk unassisted this year? Are you?
you're you're getting there, Carol.
Do you know Carol?
Take your time, but push at the same time, if that makes sense. Uh, and stop getting frustrated with when something doesn't happen when you think it should happen or when you want it to happen, or when you think in your head that you should be doing this by now. Get rid of all that and just focus with the intention of full recovery healing. And then it feels like by the end of this year, I don't think you'll be walking unassisted, but I do feel like you're going to be closer or close to being able to do short distances that you'll be like, damn, I got some of my life back. So hang in there, but practice patience with yourself, especially because I can see you going with yourself, and just kind of just push, but when know when to hold them, like the Kenny
Oh,
Rogers
when to
song.
hold them, know when to fold them.
Exactly. So yeah, just keep it going and keep it. Yeah. So
Okay, here we go. Eileen says, wondering if I should cut my hair.
Eileen, I think that you should just do a buzz cut.
Do you know Eileen?
Just do a buzz cut, Eileen. Just do it. Just cut it all off.
There you go. Just let it go. It's a new growth. Thank you. It's been a year since the break in my knee. Aw. And Angela says, I enjoy hearing from Lewis on your lives, Michael. I do too. I just wish the little witch would have told me he was going to call in. I would have like broadcast it. And listen, Eileen says, I've thought about that. There you go.
G.I. Jane. What's old is new again.
G.I. Jane. Just don't have Chris Rock going G.I. Jane jokes because Will Smith come up and smack you.
Get your my wife.
Don't let it out of my
wife's
fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Unbelievable people. I'm telling you. I've thought about that. Okay, there Eileen is laughing. Let's see if you got a couple. Oh, here we go. Holly Chia, I would like to know if my little sister will start feeling better.
She she needs counseling, and there's something that's bottled up that she's not sharing, and it's kind of like when people are stressed out but yet they don't show it yet, and so they keep bottling up inside. Well, eventually it's going to have to go somewhere, and that's where your sister is at with the whole thing about it's spilling over now, and it's starting to affect her physically and mentally. She needs a professional to help her unpack what she's holding within, and to me it feels like it's much heavier than what we're anticipating, because to me it's kind of like her thoughts have become her reality, even though it may not be the way that we're viewing the reality around the situation. So yeah.
Then Marianne has water damage. What is this? I have water damage to the second floor bathroom. We're waiting for a plumber. Lots of damage to the downstairs ceiling. Help.
Get quote.
Get a quote?
Get quotes because and going back to your original question, Marianne, about selling next year, you don't want to do everything fancy. You want to just get it so it doesn't depreciate the home, even though the land is going to be worth way more than the home will be, even though you have a magnificent home. But it's the land people want.
Right.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Well, Irene Lewis just found. Oh, here we go. Lewis just found out my 50th high school. Huh? Irina just found out her 50th high school reunion will be next year. Conflicted whether to go or not.
Go. You need to show up. Absolutely. I'm just a messenger. No one puts baby in the corner, so stop putting yourself in the corner, Karen. Or sorry, Irina. Nope.
Karen.
Get out there.
Okay, so Lewis, since Roe versus Wade was overturned, do you feel the rights for others will end up the same way? I personally, without a psychic thing, I think America will eventually save itself.
It's going to collapse.
America?
The Constitution, or how people are interpreting the Constitution will
Oh,
finally collapse.
because they're
And
making things. It's like what they do with the Bible. They're making it.
right,
They're taking scripture and making it work for them.
right,
And the only way that we can get through this is not even, it doesn't take a psychic for this one, Karen, is voting. We
right.
have to vote. And what screwed us this time is this guy, Joe Manchin, and that witch from Arizona Cinema.
Mhm.
They're both Democrats, but they won't get rid of the filibuster. We could have Roe versus Wade codified. We could have gay rights codified because we would have the votes to do that in Congress, but we
And
can't do
right.
that
And I
if
believe
people
that
don't.
if people don't vote, I believe that California is voting in November about
Oh, the whole
Roe
country
versus
is
Wade.
voting in. No. Everybody's voting
So
in
the
November.
okay.
It's
Because I
called the
just got
mid.
snippets.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's the
called the
midterms.
midterms. And
Yeah,
the midterms has always been when the other side takes over. And
right.
it's razor thin. We need to
Yeah,
the Democrats, the liberals need to keep the House and the Senate. All we need
right.
is 2 seats in the Senate, and we
Yep,
can codify Roe versus Wade, LGBTQ rights, all of that.
right,
But we can't
right.
do it now because Joe Manchin, the idiot from Kentucky, who is basically a closeted Republican, won't abolish the filibuster. Well, we can't do
Right.
that. But of course, if the Republicans take over, guess what they're going to do? They're going to
Of course
abolish
they
the
are.
filibuster.
They could both-
And
Exactly.
right, they're going to do whatever they can. So it's scary, but I just, I can see the Roe versus Wade because of the abortions and stuff. But what would happen to all these people who are married with their rights and everything? That's a huge fuck up constitutionally. You know what I mean? Right.
Yep.
And
Well,
you're right, Marie.
even yeah,
I was,
like there definitely needs to be a third party. It was interesting because when I was since I've been in London, there's been a few
oh, yeah. Boris, bye bye.
with Boris Johnson, bye bye, Boris. And Boris was a very strong opponent to gender rights,
Oh,
and
really?
so when Pride Day was going on the Saturday, there was a bunch of speeches going on, and America was brought up quite a few times about let's not turn into America.
Right.
That's how people are viewing Roe versus Wade and just the
Of course.
fucked up system that exists in your democratic way of voting,
They've
and
allowed it to
how
happen.
they
And
exactly.
but it's basically apathy. It's apathy on the
Yes.
part of the American people who would rather watch the Kardashians than pay attention to
Then
elections.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
I find as someone who's traveled around the world and been around a lot, I find that people who live in other countries, in Canada, South America, Europe, they know what the hell is going on in their politics.
Right.
Our shit forsaken country, these kids, I mean, it's like the LGBTQ community. I'm sorry, but wake up, kids,
Yep.
because if you don't vote, they're more concerned about fucking RuPaul's Drag Race and who's the best lip syncer. It's like, pull that shit out of your asses that you're going to lose your rights. And I was in my building, there's a young kid named Griffin who's 20. So he and I were having this debate down in the gym. And he said, all the kids my age, he's 20, they hate Biden. Why? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, they said the country was better under Trump. These are LGBTQ kids. And I'm going, are you serious? And he goes, well, the gas prices were lower, da 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 da. And then I had to think about it. That's the only president they've ever paid attention to.
Exactly.
Was Trump,
They
because
don't
they're 20. They were
right.
only 10, 11 years old when Obama was president.
Exactly.
So you're just like, oh my God. But yet the kids don't pay attention to politics. They wouldn't know how a
No.
bill is made and voted on. And that's the downfall of what's happening in America with our political system. And Joe Biden was great. He came in, he got rid of Trump. But we need younger blood. We still need all these old white men running around, who don't even know how to turn on a fucking laptop, running the country. And I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen it over there, but Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of California, just gave a socket to me to that idiot in Florida, DeSantis, and said, hey, he just gave it to him. But that's what we need. We need younger people. And the Republican Party has that. Their younger people are just crazy right-wing loonies. We don't have that in the Democratic Party. We have a bunch of old farts who...
And we need Kamala Harris to start stepping up more. And
they're not letting her step up more.
I know. And that's frustrating because she's the one that's going to be able to bring in all those split votes. She has 4 demographics that are being underutilized right now so that they can give good old Joel his glory days before he goes cuckoo, and then she takes over.
Oh my God. I just had a thought. Wouldn't it be cool? Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom.
Why not?
No, I mean, I was thinking that. Please tap the thumbs up for Esther as it helps the YouTube. Yeah, hit thumbs up on YouTube, people. It helps me. Yeah, that could work. That could work. But or Pete Buttigieg. But
Pete, I think, needs to go. I think Pete is really, really good, but I think Pete needs to peak later.
Right, he could be the next round. But I just think Joe Biden has aged just in 2 years, big time. He's a wonderful man, but he's still thinking. He still thinks that our government is the same as it was when he was in it 30, 40 years ago as a senator and a congressman.
And he wants to build those bridges like he was able to do back then. And
that doesn't exist anymore.
If you can't do it in 15 seconds, someone's going to pay attention.
Right. Exactly, Don. My kids say we need to get rid of these old ass peeps. I mean, when they had the impeachment and they had Pete Leahy, who's like 100 years old, he could hardly talk. He's up there hitting the gavel.
Yep.
And it's like, Jesus
Christ. He probably broke a wrist.
Right. But what's happening? There is things happening. Just with the January 6th committee, they're already eroding at Trump. There are people going, oh my God, they're seeing the truth finally. They're seeing the truth. And there's been some bombshells while you were gone. I don't know if you saw it in the news, but
I haven't paid too much attention to that.
Oh yeah, major bomb. And this week is going to be huge. This week is going to be huge with the January 6th. I think it's the final 2 hearings. I'm not sure, but it's huge. So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Well, when the nepotism doesn't work anymore and the kids are now going things against their father, just wait.
Just wait. Well, Lewis, hang on after we hang up here. We've done just about an hour, and it's kind of like nobody's asking questions, and we're down real low in viewership right now because I didn't promote you.
Well, because I was surprised. That's why you should tune in every week.
I know. So listen, everybody, I want you all to give it up for Mr. Lewis Mabee, broadcasting from all the way across the pond in the lovely UK. You're in London, right?
I'm in London.
London time.
London.
Anyway, we'll be back next week. I think Esther's coming on this Wednesday for the first time in a month. We're bringing the old gal back. I think it's going to be Wednesday. But anyway,
did she get some new earrings?
She's got new everything. She's got a new do.
Yeah.
Anyway, give it up for Lewis Mabee, who surprised us all today. And we will be back midweek with Esther. And next Sunday, I have no idea who's coming on. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.